黐手, most people when they hit, they end up letting this go. So you're opening up the center line and then palm it. The second point is after this, because I'm sticking to him, I could feel when he's punching me. And okay, today I'm going to talk about one of the most neglected drills in Wing Chun, which is called 單黐手, or single sticky hands. It's actually the most boring exercise I find in Wing Chun, but it's often misunderstood because it comes right between real 黐手 and the basic moves like 拍打 and 擸打. But does your 單黐手 have a sticking component? That's what I'm going to talk about today. So this is the basic 單黐手 method. But if you think about it, why is it called 黐手? Because it's just one arm sticking. So if you're doing it without any sticking, then you're not doing 單黐手right. So here are some details that I add to it. So the basic motion itself is this guy gives him a palm, and then he does what we call a 窒手. And then when he punches, he does a 綁手, and then we repeat. So the main problem with this is people forget to stick when they first do it. So when we first do a 單黐手, most people when they hit, they end up letting this go. So watch. And then they let this go. But we're training sensitivity. It's basic sensitivity first, right? So what we're trying to do is after we palm, we have to have a little bit of sticking. And how do we do that? Okay, like that. So after we palm, we don't just let it go. We palm, but we leave a little bit of power on the bridge. So what happens is, you see, we call it 晾住佢, or we just support him a bit. We're not fighting this way, but we're not going like that. So this is the first important point to start the sticking. And then the second point is after this, because I'm sticking to him, I could feel when he's punching me, and then I'm gonna roll upwards. So again. So another point is not to make this mechanical. What happens is, oftentimes, you guys just repeat this on and on. But you want to change the tempo a bit. So what happens is I palm, he might pause for a bit, and then when he comes, I bong, and then I reset. And then I go again, and I reset. So there's a little thing we do in our style. When a lot of people, when they palm, they only palm to the center line, which is completely right for Wing Chun. But what we want to do is because if he's in the center line and his elbow is really far in, my palm actually slides off itself already anyways. So what we do when we start training is we do something called 撩佢嘅踭底, which means we try to play with his elbow to train his elbow power. So what happens is we actually come at this angle and aim for this shoulder. What you might think is it's not in the center line, yes, but we've also gotten the center line. So we've taken up the center space, so we don't actually have to collide in the center line. So this is one aspect of the training. So watch, if I just palm to the center and he's got a good elbow, and he doesn't move, I actually don't really, yeah, it actually just doesn't, it slides off him already. He doesn't need to fook. But what I want to do is I want to train his fook out. So I go, I liu he xiu. We call it like, how do I put it? I put some pressure on his 踭底, and then I go here. So he could have a chance to train his 窒手. But remember when you do this, don't go like that. You want to just translate, so you're opening up the center line and then palm it. And also, don't go like that. This is what people end up doing. So what you want to do is it's like 小念頭, right? You 小念頭, third section, not the first one. So you come up a bit and then you palm. So, palm. And for the 窒手, what a lot of people end up doing is, if you imagine this being the line, when people 窒手, they end up doing this. You don't actually move any space with your wrist. What you want to do is you want to deflect the straight power, right? So you want to actually 窒 a bit to the side. Most people, when they use wrist power, they just end up doing this. I'm using my wrist. But no, what you want to do, because you're on the outside already, you want to come into the center line. This is where the 窒手 comes in. So you 窒 until there's space, and then when you feel like there's enough, you aim for his head. And then come back. Again. And then we switch sides. But what's important is the punching guy not to use too much power to sink down, because you hurt the guy's 綁手. So he punches up towards me so I could roll his power up. So if you look at this angle, I'm not just going like that. It's very easy for him. It's very easy for him to tap. What I'm doing is I'm playing with his elbow. So I'm playing with his elbow a bit, so I could take up all the space here. This doesn't matter anymore right now because I've taken up this space in the center. So, and that's 單黐手.
Hey guys, remember to like, share and subscribe, and follow my socials if you haven't already.